back to the mat. We'll start today with a few breathing exercises. So find a comfortable position on your seat. Press your sit bones into the floor, or onto your seat, and then stretch the sides of your body long from your hips to your armpits. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. And bring your awareness to your lower belly. Long, slow breath deep into your belly so that it fills up. And even longer, slower breath out. And twice more. Now I would like to draw your attention that today is the 1st of May, and it's May Day here in Ireland, or the celebration of Bealtaine. And Bealtaine is the welcoming back of spring into our world, the growth of new things, the welcoming back of life. It's a very ancient festival here in Ireland. Comes from Celtic pagan background, and of course was the Catholic Church here turned it into a feast for Mary, and children would all put flowers in the altars and so on. Other traditions associated with this, people will often scatter flowers on the pathways anonymously outside people's houses, and this is to prevent bad luck or bad spirits arriving into your life. So if you find some flowers scattered outside the path of your house, someone has been kind enough to do this for you on this day. And also in Ireland there will be a fire lit on many of the surrounding hillsides called the Bealtaine fire, and it's just welcoming back in spring again. So we'll bring that spring into our practice today, a sense of newness, bringing the beginner's mind to what it is that we're up to. So life begins with breath, and we'll do a couple of breathing exercises as we start. So take your hands and place them on your lower abdominal area. Bring your thumbs together where your thumbs are pointing towards your navel and your index fingers are pointing towards your pubic bone. And then sitting up straight, exhale completely, and inhale and fill up that lower abdominal area. And exhale and allow your lower abdominal area to empty of air. Breathe in again. And notice the rise and fall of your lower abdominal area. And again. And do this 7 more times. And return to normal breathing. Place your hands on your knees. Notice the sensations, the external sensations, the internal sensations. Take 3 normal breaths. And now moving your hands up your ribs and bring them just below, if you had a bikini, below your bikini line. And so that your fingers are just touching. Exhale completely. And as you inhale, your ribs open like an accordion. And your fingers move apart naturally. And then exhale, your ribs come closer together and the tips of your fingers come closer together. Again, inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and do that 7 more times. Just watching your breath. And on your next exhalation, allow your hands to drop onto your knees, return to normal breathing, and take 3 normal breaths. And now finally moving your hands to your upper chest, just below your collarbones, tips of your fingers just touching together. Exhale completely. And inhale and see if you can get your fingers to move apart by breathing into the upper part of your chest only. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And do that 7 more times yourself. Release your arms and take 3 normal breaths. And now moving on to the second part of our breathing practice. I invite you to visualize a square in your imagination. And we're going to breathe around the 4 sides of the square. So the point of the breathing exercise is to keep your in-breath the same length as your out-breath. But we're also going to pause at the top of the in-breath. And we're going to hold our breath for the same length of time as it takes to breathe in and the same length of time that it takes to breathe out. And then on the bottom of the out-breath, we're also going to hold our breath and breathe out for the same length of time as it takes to breathe in and the same length of time that it takes to breathe out. So again, being aware of your posture, It's difficult to breathe if you're slightly slumped. So you're pushing down with your sit bones into the chair, and you're lengthening the sides of your body long. You're engaging your core. And exhale completely. And breathe in for 1, 2. Inhale, breathe in. 1, 2. Hold your breath. Go across the top of the square. 1, 2. Breathe out. Go down the side of the square. 1, 2. Hold your breath out. Going across the bottom of the square. 1, 2. Breathe in again. Going up the side of the square. 1, 2. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Breathe out for 2. 1, 2. Hold out for 2. 1, 2. Breathe in for 2. 1, 2. Hold. 1, 2. Breathe out for 2. 1, 2. Hold out. 1, 2. And we're going to keep that going for 7 more times, so in your own time. And if 2 is too long for you, it's absolutely okay to breathe 1, breathe in for 1, hold for 1, or if you'd like a little bit more challenge, breathe in for 3, hold for 3, and so on. So off we go. Exhale and inhale, breathe in. And on your next exhalation, come back to normal breathing and take 3 normal breaths. And now our final breathing practice for today is we're going to breathe in for 2 and we're going to breathe out for 4. So exhale completely, inhale 1, 2, and then exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in for 1, 2. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 1, 2. Out 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep that going yourself for 7 more breaths. Your breath should be no way forced, so if 4 is too long, make it a little bit smaller. And at the end of your next exhalation, come back to normal breathing. And now we'll move into the asana part of the practice, where we'll be doing various poses. Let's move into our first warm-up sequence of the day. So clasp your hands together in front of you, interlace your fingers, stretch your arms out, and pretend you have an axe. Obviously you don't hold an axe like this, but the motion is inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Body moving with your breath. Exhale, back down. So we'll do 8 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Listen to yourself breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Coming right down each time so your belly comes onto your thighs. Exhale. Feet might need to be wider apart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale and come back up to sitting. Return to normal breathing. And notice your breath. Hands on your thighs. Again, sitting up straight, pressing your sit bones into the floor. So we're growing the pose from inside out. We're not imposing the pose on your body. So you're strong as steel on the inside, but soft on the outside. Moving to our next pose, lift your arms up. If you have a sore shoulder or anything, what you could do is do it like this, yeah, if it doesn't work for you. So lift your arms up, and then you're turning all the way around. Inhale, and then exhale all the way back to the other side. Inhale, and keep that going. Do 5 on both sides. Exhale. Keep breathing, notice your breathing. Move with your breath. And come back to center. Place your hands on your knees. Just notice the sensations. Notice all the sensations. So you've obviously the cool air around your skin on the outside of you, your sensation of sitting on the chair, your feet on the floor. Then the other sensations. Perhaps your heart is starting to beat and you can feel that in your chest. Notice your breathing, the rise and fall of your chest. Can you notice where your in-breath becomes your out-breath, and your out-breath becomes your in-breath? Moving to the lower part of our body, to our legs. Sitting up straight again. If you wish, if you have a block or a cushion, you can place it between your legs. It's just something to keep your legs pressed together. Or just, you could do it without it. So, sitting up straight. Inhale, lift your legs up in front of you. Exhale, let them down. And we'll do 10 of those. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release down. Moving with your breath. Body follows breath. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release down. As your breath goes in, it gives you energy. And as you release, you become relaxed. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release. 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 3 more to go. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, stretch up. And hold. And breathe as you're holding. Sometimes when we have to hold a pose, we hold our breath. So just breathe through it. Push through your heels, squeeze your legs in towards each other. Press down with your sit bones into the floor. Stretch between your hips and under your armpits. Invite your shoulder blades to come onto the back. Move your ears back. Lift your gaze. And breathe through it all. And release. And put the block off to one side and notice any jelly sensations that you might have as a result of that. So this morning we're moving off our chair and just to have it beside us. So I'll set up my chair. That's the way I'm working. So you might want to follow suit if you're if you can do that. All you need is something to hold on to, that's all. Yeah, it can be the back of the chair or the front of the chair. Back of the chair if your hamstrings are tight, front of the chair if you're a little bit more open. So I'll do it in the back of the chair so you can see what I'm at. So place your hands on the chair and walk your feet back, yeah, and stretch your arms out. Now do you see the way my body is? It's sort of 90 degrees. That's what we're working towards. So walk your feet back, melt your heart between your shoulder blades. Soften, press down equally with the 4 corners of your feet into the floor. So that's your inner big toe mound, your little toe mound, your inner heel and your outer heel. Squeeze your shins together, your inner thighs, turn your buttocks up towards the ceiling, strut your stuff. Engage your core, lift your head, look up, just slightly, look towards the horizon. And keep engaging your quads, which is lifting your kneecaps. Engaging the muscles above your kneecaps. Notice your breath. Inhale and walk your feet in towards your chair. Brilliant. And come and stand by your chair with one hand on the back of it, or the side of it, whatever you can get a hold of. And we're moving into tree pose. So you shift your weight onto your left foot and lift your right foot and place it against your ankle. So your toes are on the floor and your sole of your foot is against your ankle of the other foot. If you're feeling a little bit more confident, you can bring it up onto your inner thigh. So whatever works for you. Keep that. Square your hips, your shoulders forward. Root down with the standing foot into the floor. Engage your quad. This is your quad here. When it's not engaged, it's all soft and wobbly. When it is engaged, it's a little bit harder. Stretch from your hips to under your armpits. Invite your shoulder blades to come back onto your back. Move your ears back. Lift your gaze. Keep all that and move your right knee out to the side. Place your left hand on your hip. Be as upright as possible. Enjoy your view from a tree. So just remember that today is the 1st of May. It's the Feast of Bealtaine, the Feast of the Fire, or the Return of the Spring. It's also Naked Gardener's Day, Paddy. Bit cool for that. And release. And then either turn your back or turn your chair and place your left hand on the chair and shift your weight onto your right foot. Press down equally with the 4 corners of your right foot into the floor. Lift your left foot and place it against your ankle, your shin, or your upper inner thigh. Square towards the front of your mat. Press down with the standing foot into the floor. Engage the quad. Engage your core. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift your gaze. Move your ears back. Enjoy the view from a tree. And release. And then see if you can turn your chair towards you so that the seat of the chair is in front of you. And then standing with your feet hip width apart. So if hip width apart is sort of double fist width apart. It'll give you an idea how far your feet should be apart. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale and place your hands on the seat of the chair. Yeah? And then we're coming into cat-cow. So just walk your feet back slightly. And then exhale, round your back up. I'll just take my jumper off so you can see clearly what I'm doing. Round your back up and make it as rounded as possible. So you're exhaling and then inhaling, sinking down and softening your heart towards the floor. Exhaling, rounding up. Allow your head to drop as if to look back between your legs. Inhale, sinking down. Body following breath. And we'll do 10 rounds of that. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhale, sink down. Listen to yourself breathing. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhale, sink down. Body following breath. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. Keeping that going, exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. Keep it going, exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. And last one, exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down. And then just bend your knees and come back up standing. And just feel all that's arising in your body now. Notice the sensation of your feet on the floor. the air around your skin, all the external sensations fed to you by your senses, and then all the internal sensations. Moving to our next pose, you may want to turn the chair again so the back of the chair is a little bit higher. And you're placing your hands on the chair again, and this time you're lifting your right leg up behind you. Best you can, keep the back leg stretched out behind you. So inhale, stretch up, exhale, bring it to the floor. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, bring it to the floor. If you're feeling confident, you can put your hands on the seat of the chair instead of having them so high up. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, sink forward, release. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. Last one, inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. And switch to the other side. So shift your weight onto your right foot and lift your left leg up behind you. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. 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 Moving with your breath. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. Two more. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, release. And again. And then switch legs again. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Lift your right leg up behind it. And this time you're just simply holding it. And as you're holding it, notice if you're holding your breath and breathe through it. And take 5 breaths. And release and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your right foot, lift your left leg up behind you and hold it. And release. And maybe just move yourself a little bit. You might be feeling a little bit stiff after that. And unleash yourself. Moving into Trikonasana or triangle. So again, turn the seat of your chair towards you, step your feet wide apart. Whatever is comfortable for you, that you don't feel too unbalanced, whatever works for you. Turn your right foot out, line up your right heel so it bisects the arch of the left foot. Keeping that square your hips, your shoulders to the front of the mat so that you're not turning towards your right foot. Yeah, okay, cool. Inhale, lift your arms up. Or if your shoulders are sore, you can place your hands on your hips. So, and then look out over your right hand arm and then lean forward and place your hand on the chair. Maybe you can bring your top arm up to vertical. More doable, place your hand on your hip, yogi's choice. Keeping all that, press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Roll your left hip back, your left ribs back, lift your chest, lift your gaze, look up. Notice your breathing. Take 5 breaths. Or you can bring your arm up. Inhale, come back up to center. And of course, we've got 2 legs, so we're going to do it on the other side. I'll turn my back to you and switch so that my left leg is close to my chair, or you can turn your chair if you want to see what I'm doing. Step your feet wider apart. Turn your left foot out. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale and reach forward and place your hand on the chair. Press down with your back foot into the floor and place your hand on your hip, or lift your top right arm up to vertical. Inhale, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Roll your right hip back, your right ribs back. Look up. Bring your awareness to your breath and take 5 breaths. Inhale back up to center. Step your feet together. I'm going to try another pose. Don't know if this is available for you both. Paddy, give me a thumbs up if you can do this. Lift your right foot up onto the chair. Is that a possibility for you? Just do that, or if you can do it. I don't want you to be falling over. Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay. So all you're doing is you're standing here like this. Place your hands on your hips, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Be as upright as possible. Root down with the standing foot into the floor. Draw your right hip back. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Squeeze your elbows back. Move your ears back. Envision a line coming out of the top of your head, pulling the crown of your head towards the sky. At the same time, you're pushing down into the earth with the root of your heel. Take 5 breaths. Inhale, come back up to center and release your foot to the floor. Just take a moment. Feel the difference between the right and the left-hand side of your body. And then shift your weight onto your right foot and lift your left foot and place it on top of your chair. Place your hands on your hips. Push down with the standing foot into the floor. Engage the quad with the standing leg. Engage your core. Stretch your torso between your hips and under your armpits. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Squeeze your elbows back. Move your ears back. Bring your awareness to your breath. Take 5 breaths. And release. Bring your feet together. Just close your eyes, turn your attention inward, stand tall. Even when we're standing in what we call a mountain pose, we're always paying attention to how we stand. Just going to check my time here. And we'll make our way back onto our chairs. We seem to have run out of time, so we'll come and sit down and we'll just do a couple to finish off with. Lift your arms up And if it's available to you, see, can you bring your elbows together? So you get your hands together, your elbows together. And just hold them here. Press down with your sit bones into the floor. Press down with your feet into the floor. Engage your core. Take 5 breaths. And release. And one for our hips before we go. Yogi's choice in this one. Stretch your left leg out. Bring your right leg over your left leg so that your right knee drops out to the side. That's one version of it. More difficult, lift your right foot, place it on top of your left knee. So yogi's choice, what works for you. We're working with our hips, doesn't really matter. If you're doing it like this, you've got to really sit up straight. Well, in actual fact, with both poses. And then you're inviting that right knee away from you on both occasions. Be as upright as possible, lift your chest, stretch your spine, press both sit bones into the floor, invite your shoulder blades onto your back, lift your gaze. As you lift, as your ears come back, your chin comes up. And as your chin comes up, it allows you to breathe, which broadens across the collarbones and invites more breath deep into your body. It's just the littlest, slightest adjustment to your eyes, which changes everything. And release. And then switch to the other side. Either stretch your right leg out and lift your left leg and cross it over your ankle and press your left knee away from you. More doable, more difficult. Bend your knee, lift your left foot, place it across your left knee. I actually find this one easier than the other one, but there you go. And then press down again with your sit bones equally into the chair. Press your right foot into the floor. Stretch from your hips to your armpits. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Move your ears back. Take 5 breaths. And gently release. And then for our last one, lift your knee and clasp it and bring it in as close as you can. If you have a belt, you could also put a belt along the front of your knee, or you can clasp your thigh underneath and hold it that way. And again, sitting upright, point your toes towards the floor. Take 5 breaths. Try not to lean back, try and stay upright. And release. And then switch to the other side. Bend your left knee, clasp your knee, point your toes towards the floor, lift your chest, stretch your spine. And we'll do one twist to finish. If it's available to you, cross your right leg over your left leg. If it's not available to you, just keep your feet as close together as possible. And then sitting up straight, place your left hand to the outside of your right knee and place the other hand on the chair behind, on the back of the chair behind you. And then rotate your left lower abdomen around. So you're initiating the twist from deep down in your left lower abdomen, and draw your right shoulder back, your right ribs back. Parallel your collarbones to the right hand side. But keep pressing down with your sit bones into the floor. Keep inviting your shoulder blades onto your back. Keep moving your ears back. And then look back behind you over your right shoulder. Take 5 breaths. and release. Make your way back to center. And again, if it's available for you, lift your left leg up, cross it over your right leg, and place your right hand to the outside of your left knee. And then place your left hand on the back of the chair behind you. Press down with your sit bones into the floor, roll your left shoulder back, your left ribs back, and then very gradually initiating your twist from low down on the right hand side of your abdominal area. Visualize your organs being moved to that side of your body. So it's not just your upper body, it's a big low down spinal twist. Look back over your left shoulder, but keep pressing down with your sit bones into the floor. On every inhalation, you're sort of stretching up. On every exhalation, there's a little bit more of a twist. And keep breathing. Take 5 breaths. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist. Inhale and come back to center. And that brings us to the end of our practice. So we're going to have 5 minutes of relaxation. So if you have a blanket or you want to put a card, if you've cooled down during the practice, we're going to close our eyes for 5 minutes, attention inwards, and bring nothing to do, nowhere to go. I'll just set my timer here. So being as comfortable as you can. You're also welcome to lie down in this if that's available to you. You don't have to sit up on the chair. You can lie down on a mat. Being as comfortable as you can. Close your eyes. Just relax, release, let go. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Dropping into a place of stillness, of quietness. Begin to deepen your breathing. Come back into bring your awareness back into your body and onto the chair. Start to awaken your body. Perhaps you might want to give yourself a stretch. Move your hands and feet. And to close, we'll just take 3 breaths deep into our lower abdominal area. I just want to read something before we close in honour of Bealtaine and the rise of spring. So it's written by a friend of mine called Myrna Brown. The goddess within, where she passes, wildflowers bloom. When she calls, wild creatures come. Where her hands rest, healing flows. When her song soars, nature glows. When she journeys, power begins. She walks with angels, the goddess within. So happy May the 1st. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for coming to practice. And see you on the chair.